Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I thought I would look at some books with you just for some inspiration. We have a personal library in our house. This one happens to belong to our kids, but there is a lot to glean and information to get from children and teens books, especially like graphic novels and stuff like that. And so I wanted to show you a few that we have. I only picked 5. But that I love, that make me laugh, that give me ideas, that that's our cat. We do not own a horse. It's a really cloudy, windy, rainy day, and I'm just in the mood for some joyous inspiration. Oh, there's both our cats. So the first one is called Space Dumplings, and this is by Craig Thompson. And I can't with this book. Okay. So this is copyright 2015, and Craig Thompson, Phil Falco is the book design, colored by Dave Stewart. There's editors, there's all kinds of people listed here that contributed with this amazing fun book. And the illustrations in here are absolutely fantastic. I really, really like them. They're very detailed. They're very science. There's lots of mechanics and machinery, which is not something I draw, but I really, really appreciate having examples of things I don't know how to draw, because that's what really inspires me the most. Even though I don't do original characters and things like this, I apologize. Our cats have absolutely come unglued. So they've decided they're gonna run laps while I chat with you. The use of shadow and light, complementary colors of the color wheel, the page layout. Everything about this book is so well thought out, put together. The story, the charm, the facial expressions of the characters. It makes me smile, it makes me laugh. It just, like, the monsters here. Absolutely, yes. I am 100% here for it. The shadow of the monster. Oh, it's lovely. I can't with this. Like, just the inspiration and the skill level. I mean, even for something that's just sort of a border design of all the heaps of different machine bits and parts that look like a trash heap. It's absolutely stunning in this rust color, which complements this. Like, it all flows and goes together. I love everything about this book. Check your local library. Check bookfinder.com if you want a used copy that no one's no longer using, that you would like to purchase, you know, half price or whatever. eBay might have this. Amazon has this. If you want to support the artist, the publisher. It's just so much fun. The use of line and shape and color and value, story, everything about this works. Like, everything about this. There are panel spreads. There's a full one-page spread for understanding and putting together graphic novels or comic books or little signs or whatever your little zines, whatever you're working on. Things like this can give you a really good idea of what it takes, what it's involved, what it looks like. Sorry, we have an emergency service plane going over. Hold on. Sorry about the background noise. We have search and rescue planes and stuff. Again, I live in a forest. There is an ocean near us. We have search and rescue. So, it's also the weekend when I record, which means more people are going to be out and about, and I just really can't control background noise. But look at March of the Robots is here. That is a really popular drawing challenge in March. If you're looking for robot inspiration or monster inspiration, or how to do graphic novels and keep each panel important and varying what that looks like. Some are diagonal, some are vertical, horizontal. Like, there is a lot of delineation between the panels and the way they switch it up. and the way they add fun extra little elements within the page. So for page layout, looking at books like this can be super, super helpful. I don't think I need to sell you on this any more than I already have. This book's amazing. It just is. And that's why I picked it. We have to do a Marvel. We have to do at least one. So this is Black Panther. And I really, really love this sort of comic book. It has a really great like atmospheric perspective. It has really great skylines and sunrises and sunsets and use of color. I really, really like the use of color in this book. It's pink to orange to yellow. It's absolutely gorgeous. And Black Panther has a lot of blue, it has a lot of purple. It's an excellent use of purple if you are curious how to throw purple into your work. Black Panther is a great place to get started. Again, when we look at complementary colors with the color wheel, when we look at sky and clouds, I love all the sky work in this book. It is so beautiful. Again, story, subject matter, how this is put together, page layout. I love that sort of turquoise teal background. So pretty. Like, it's so well done. This one is particularly very well done. It's one of my favorites. Just for landscape and sunsets and color. I really like how this one was done. If you want to understand value and shape and form and figure drawing and characters in motion, here we have, this is a tree found in Africa. It's the baobab tree. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but you can see that the tree and what they've put into it shows you this is in Africa, in the continent. Absolutely stunning. These sunrises and sunsets in this comic book are so beautiful. I love how this one was put together. It's so well thought out. It is raining. In case you're like, what is that background noise now? That's the pouring rain. Now, I don't know if we're getting hail today. It could be a possibility. Anyway, this is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful book. It is illustrated by Brian Stelfreeze. Tanashi Coates. Black Panther. Big fan. A Nation Under Our Feet, Book 1. In case you're curious, I will link all these in the description box. Here's another fun one. Plants vs. Zombies. There's like, I don't know, 20 of these. There's so many of these in this series. And it is absolutely hilarious. This one is called Multi-Ballistic. It is at the bottom. Let's see if we can get who worked on this one. So it's written by Paul Tobin and Christiane Gilinardo Goudreau, and the colors are by Heather Breckel. So there's a whole team that worked on Plants vs. Zombies. I hope I pronounced that correctly. If I did not, I apologize. I mean well. I mean well even if I'm not doing well. And these are just fun. These are just funny, but the facial expressions on these characters for faces are absolutely amazing. And that is why I love Plants vs. Zombies. It's when you're drawing the same character over and over and over and again, and panel to panel to panel to panel, and you have to have differentiating things to make it look like a conversation to progress the storyline forward. The faces are fantastic. If you get this reference of who they're running like, I think it's Naruto, like another comic, it's just, I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it. Like, it's just a big brain. And it is, they're battles. It's plants and they're after the zombies. But it's giving facial expressions to things that don't. So they're anthropomorphizing like plants and making them look human-ish. And it's just, these are a ton of fun. We have several. This is just the first one I found. I don't know that this one is my absolute favorite of the series. But all of them have fantastic faces and bodies and styles and things in motion. And it's just, they just did a great job with this. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of green because, again, plants. But there's enough from page to spread that it's not boring. And because there's so many in the series, the storylines are hilarious. So you can tell them apart and it's moving the plot forward and the whole storyline forward of them, like, you know, attacking each other. So there's always that. But I just, for faces and for creativity, this one is fantastic. Because, like, come on, Plants vs. Zombies. Oh, and I believe this is in the kids section. I don't think this one is in the teens. Some of these are in the teens. Some of these kids skew even early adult. My next one skews early adult. But I mean, even the zombies, like, having zombie funny faces. Like, I'm here for it. So, I mean, you're really feeling it. And he's dancing. So, you know, like, and he's clapping. It's the same face over and over and over with different face. It's so good. It's so good. If you want to practice facial expressions, grab some comic books, grab some graphic novels, and check out how they keep altering that in all the panels. Find one character you enjoy and then see how they've been drawn over and over. The teeth, the eyes, the eyebrows, the eyebrow ridge, like knowing anatomy, like the mandibles, the jaw, like understanding placement of some of that stuff so you can move it around and then go through the litany of expressions. Oh, it's so much fun. And they're dancing, so. It's gonna be crazy. You know it's gonna get weird. And, like, the eyebrow really makes it. So. Angry to, like, worried with the angle of the eyebrow. So experiment with some of those when drawing faces, when drawing characters, when trying to add different elements to things. And again, that's our cat, I apologize. But it's so much fun. Magpie. Okay, sorry. Eventually she'll start yowling and then, like, this is just fun. Like a full page spread of color. Don't be afraid of color. And watch how other artists use it and throw it in there. And then there's some, like, coloring pages because, you know, if you want to color things in, there's some sketches. Here are the creator bios in the back, and I appreciate this. I love that they put these in here. Like, how much fun is that? So these are also, like, there's a lot going on with this series. It's just so much fun. So if you were interested in funny faces, in really unique creative ideas, things like Plants vs. Zombies is a really great way to go. This one skews young adult. This is A Midsummer Night's Dream. This is a William Shakespeare. This is a modern retelling. This is the English edition. This is from Manga Classics. So you can find a lot of books that are famous pieces in literature, the manga version. Now, this was something our eldest is doing a part of high school. Now, she has the original in Shakespeare. She also has sort of a modern one with Cliff Notes, and then she had this one. So she had 3 different versions of A Midsummer Night's Dream, plus she watched a movie and then did a comparative write-up with all that. We homeschool. But this is such a unique way to grasp and get interested in some of the classic literature pieces, especially if you're trying to get younger audiences interested. This is a back to front. It's not a front to back. So this is how Japan does their books. Here's the cast of characters. They are trying to introduce it to you. I don't know if it has the illustrator's name in here. We might be able to find that later. And it shows you how to read the panel. Oh my God, our cats. So they're playing. I apologize. But this is Japanese style. So back to front. Act 1, Scene 1. And I really love the fine line. So this is devoid of color. This is just a black and white. And this is just a really good example of line art, of pen and ink, of creating a style within something already established. Shakespeare's work is heavily loved. It is beloved by many. And when a new edition or different rendition of it comes out, it is thus critiqued and put under the microscope as to how it lives up to the original. And this is a retelling. This is a stylized version of it. I just love how it looks. It looks almost Greek to me. It's just very beautiful line art. Now, when looking at hair, shadow and highlight, when looking at things monochromatic, one color, when looking at black and white, they very much have the manga style eyes that are a little bit too big and have lots of swirls and highlights. It's a style. And I'm here for it. Whatever engages folks in wanting to read is 100% okay in my book. Pun intended. So if this gets folks interested in Shakespeare, like this is their first introduction to it, and they enjoy it, then it's a success to me. It's a win. But this is such a great example of layout and like little comic panels splitting another, and the overlays within that, and just the illustrations themselves. They're so detailed. Even without color. There is a lot being said, there's a lot being done in each panel. Here's a full page spread. It is absolutely beautiful. Even if you're not familiar with this play, and again, I will link these books and I will link some other things that I find if you're interested. This one is probably the most fantasy Shakespeare, with all the different characters and things going on. Hence why my eldest chose it. But I know Romeo and Juliet, there's one of those too, like Jane Eyre. Like there's a ton of famous books that have been put into manga editions for consumption. I would encourage reading it with the original script, but that's just me. And again, this is for illustration inspiration. So you don't even have to read the panels. I think that the words and the text absolutely enhance the illustrations. That's just something that I think it does. That way you have context as to why he's so upset, why they're having a tough time here, what's going on with these fairies, and some of the mythical beings in this play. It's a lot of fun. And to know that, one, print isn't dead, and two, that folks are still turning out ways to get people interested in classic literature, and that there's still beautiful pen and ink art still coming out and being released and being published and being put in. Like the patterning on the clothing is absolutely phenomenal. I can't. With the folds and the lines of fabric, this is a really, really good book for that. So understanding clothing design, how things fold, how things bend, because of all the draping and the Greek styling of like these types of outfits. Again, fashion design. If you are interested in fashion and clothing design, looking through graphic novels that take place in different time periods, comic books, things like that. Some comic books are in the future, so they can really have a lot of fun with it. Let's see if we can get some of the, I credit some of these people. From the artist. So there's a whole thing written here. Hello, everyone. Well, hello. So here's the name. Potsy. Boy, If I didn't pronounce that correctly, I apologize. And here's early concept art. So the artists themselves put in the early designs to show you the evolution of the characters. Like, understand the work that went into this. Emotions in the scene. Like, they broke down their own illustrations within this. I think this is such a wonderful addition to books when the artist gets involved and starts talking about their process. Storytelling abilities, a feminist note, working with the artist. So here's Michael Bartlop adapting A Midsummer Night's Dream into modern English, making it special. Like, it's really, really helpful, and I appreciate that. So, story adaptation, Crystal Chan, Michael Balthrop. There's lettering, artist Pote. Interest level, they're saying 7 to 12. Reading grade, age 9. Young adult, 12 plus. Again, it is what it is. So, changing the way you read classics. So, Dracula, the Jungle Book, a lot of these are put into this type of rendition. But this is such a great example of unique illustration for artists and other folks to get inspiration from. Okay, the last one is this one. This is the Fairy Bible by Teresa Morley. And this is a definition guide to the world of fairies. Now, let's see if we can get the information. Copyright 2008. Do we have Teresa Morley? I don't have an illustrator's name. What I like about this book is there's a ton of different illustration styles. So, and they all feel different. This is one of the original photographs that tricked people. If you know about the Hotline fairies, there's a Wikipedia page. How they use paper dolls, and even Sir Arthur Conan Doyle believed it, that fairies were true. Every page that has an illustration is almost a completely different style, a different layout, a different color, choices, different placement, different ideas. Everything is just so different from page to page to page that I appreciate that. And this is an interesting way to do a book, and the text wraps around the different pictures and stuff. But because it's so many styles and different ways of doing color and different ideas, that it's almost like, it's almost like a little tiny Wikipedia, like a little Encyclopedia Britannica of illustrators. Because everything is so different. Because the choices are so unique. And you can see just from page to page, like the styling of every single one is so drastically different from the next. And it's such a great reminder that if you are bored or underwhelmed with what you're creating, challenge yourself, change up your style, add more things, take things away, consider your placement, your composition, consider the color you choose. I like the foreshortening of this a little bit. That's nice. And you're getting things from different angles. So some of these are older. Water fairies. The subject matter isn't quite as interesting to me as just the different styles and the composition choices. So I'm not that big into fairies or mermaids or things like that so much. My children are more than I am. But I just appreciate the differences. Like illustrating food, I can't. When have you known me to draw a loaf of bread? Like, I don't, and I should. And that's a good reminder. The back of a mermaid. Everybody draws the front and sees the face. I appreciate that. I appreciate the difference. Again, we have loud cars driving by. I apologize. Here's a meditation. Air fairies. The color choices. The purples and oranges. Absolutely gorgeous. There's some runes, I think. I'm not up on all my things, but I'm trying to take interest in my kids' interests. I just, for inspiration's sake, and I do love birds. Oh, the 7 ravens. Okay. For the sake of inspiration, I'm here for it. Because I understand how to draw birds, I do. Looking at background and placement interests me. Knowing what I can do and what I haven't done and need to do more of, these types of things remind me and show me. Like, this is really cool. These fairies are getting pulled by a bunch of butterflies. So for subject matter, fairies getting pulled by butterflies is a really, really cool, unique idea. Some spells in here, I believe. It's just a fun little book of ideas and styles and compositions. I love the green man. I love that. I don't know why. I do love green. I appreciate the green. There is a saffron crocus. Those grow in the desert of Israel. If you like a little saffron in your spaghetti, you can buy, oh, are they a bulb? There's something you can buy. You can grow them. A rose fairy. This is a very specific style of illustration. It's very different from this one. So, and I like the coloring. I really like the coloring of the skin, the blues and the purples. So like if you just take it out of context and look at the color, and then they've highlighted with a little tiny bit of orange on the heel and on the calf. It's really pretty. Getting inspiration from books. This one, this would probably be in the main section of the library. I'm not even sure where you would find this. This would be in the teen section, and some of these would be in the kids section. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some interesting inspiration ideas. Try new things. Just throw on a weird facial expression on your next character. Give them some funny teeth. Maybe add a plant trying to eat them, or a fairy and a butterfly in a toga. Like, there's so much that can be found at your local library, or support your local thrift store and see what charities those purchases go to. There are a lot of really great used books floating around in your local community that are worth a gander. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.